Engaging in casual conversations with strangers, where we don't talk about anything specific, might seem absurd to some people. It could happen while we're at a coffee shop, receiving our drink, or when we encounter a neighbour while picking up our mail. We may also find ourselves on a train waiting for the doors to open. With so many tasks to accomplish and close friends we haven't seen in a while, why would we bother to pause our day for a few moments? Some might argue that we avoid these small chats because we aspire to have deep and meaningful conversations, which we believe are impossible to achieve with someone we hardly know in a short amount of time. We prioritize longer, more significant interactions and assume that we are already committed to them. However, this perspective overlooks the point and the opportunities presented by these minor social exchanges. They can be compared to haikus, which are short poems, standing next to a 1,000-page novel. There are things a tiny poem can do that a long story cannot. Single sentences have the power to impact us as much as entire volumes. Some pictures stick with us more than a 3-hour film. These so-called minor things can disproportionately but powerfully touch us. Small sympathetic chats matter because most of us are never too far from sadness and despair. We have numerous reasons to dislike ourselves. When we are feeling vulnerable or down, a brief kind exchange can be enough to turn around a dark day. Even the tiniest dialogue can hold an immense amount of sympathy and fellow feeling. For instance, when we exchange a few sympathetic words with a taxi driver, maybe about their elderly mother who recently moved to a care home after a fall. Although this chat won't change their circumstances, the display of humanity can add another glimmer of hope. Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once remarked that we never know who around us might be contemplating ending their own life. This thought puts into perspective the potential impact of any exchange. At times, without any obvious warning, we could be the last barrier between someone and a decision to despair. Critics often argue that small chats are merely a facade of friendliness. However, they fail to recognize how much our hearts can empathize with people whose lives we briefly intersect. We can imagine the pain they might be going through. Even without knowing the specifics, it may sound paradoxical, but we can feel a momentary love for a stranger. Often, we are hindered by grandiose ideas of changing the world. We envision monumental requirements for making significant improvements, inadvertently neglecting what we can accomplish here and now, in our immediate surroundings. We already possess a potent weapon in our hands, the ability to greet others warmly, with a gentle and sympathetic hello. Our lives are made up of these seemingly insignificant moments that can shape our existence.